Inklings, it's Bianca and welcome back to Binks Thinks. Today I'm going to be giving you my July 2025 update for Project TBR Zero, where I try to read all of the books I physically own. I have a bit of a book buying addiction, shopping addiction, which I am trying to conquer, and the main thing that I really used to buy a lot of is books, and at the start of this challenge I realized I had 350 unread books. We are now down to 284 books to read. So let's see how I did in July of 2025. If you'd like to watch all of the other videos in this series, I will leave all of the links down below. I have a big playlist, and let's jump right in and talk about July. So the very first book that I finished was Wondersmith by Jessica Townsend, which I do own, but this is a reread, so this does not count towards the challenge. So this is going under other read. I do highly recommend checking out the Nevermore series if you have not read it yet. So this is book 2 in the series. I read this in anticipation of the 4th book being released, so I did a whole reread. I did also manage to find the audiobooks on Libby, and the audiobooks are fantastic. So if you're an audiobook person, check out the audiobooks to Nevermore. So this is a middle grade fantasy series, and I'm obsessed with them. They are just so good. My best friend and I, we read them together, and we love them so very much. I was also fortunate enough to actually go to a book event where Jessica Townsend was speaking, so I got to see her in person, and that was really, really cool. The next book I finished in July was Carrie by Stephen King. So this was Stephen King's first book, but I do have the 50th anniversary edition of this book, which is, it's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. And I used to be a person who said I would never read a Stephen King book. I'm not into horror, but I ate my words this year multiple times. So I do think it was actually maybe at the start of last year where I read On Writing by Stephen King. I initially listened to the audiobook of this, but I loved it so much that I ended up purchasing a physical copy, and I do quite like this edition. It's really pretty, and it's a very pretty hardcover as well. But I was just so intrigued by this man talking about writing that I had to read one of his actual fiction books as well. So I start at the beginning with Stephen King with Carrie, and this is absolutely not how I expected it to be, but this was a book that I owned, so one step closer to meeting my goal. This is a book about a girl who has telekinetic powers, and awful things happen to her. So be warned, it's a bit gross, some parts, but just the way this was written, all of the different POVs, I am just in awe that this was his first book and that he was able to write from so many POVs. And like when you watch the movie, I never finished the movie. I started watching the movie and I found it a bit too weird. But the book itself, just the way it's written, is super engaging. And even if you have watched the movie and you don't like it, I would still advise trying out the book if you're also like on the fence about Stephen King, because I just think he is really good at what he does, and there's a reason he's so successful. And there are a few of his other books on my radar. I've been told that I would really like Salem's Lot, so I might read that one next. And yeah, I'm enjoying that, which is crazy for me, nearing my 30s, as someone who throughout my whole 20s just said, I'll never read a Stephen King in my life. And here I am, reading his books and enjoying them. The third book I finished was Hollowpox. This is the third Nevermore book, so another chunk, but again, this was also a reread for me. It was an interesting time when this book was released. It came out just around the same time as the actual pandemic, COVID, and this book is also about a pandemic. It's infects like the animals in this book, but this book, and then was it one of the Cassandra Clare books? Yeah, I think it was like Chain of Iron. Both of those books were pandemic books, and they released during the start of the pandemic, and it was really weird. So I don't think I really fully absorbed this story properly the first time I read it, so I am really glad that I read it again after having a bit of distance from all of that, and it was a fantastic story. I'll mention this, but I did DNF The Tenant, which was a book club pick. This was my first book by Frida McFadden, and I didn't like it at all. I didn't like the main character. His point of view was really annoying, and I didn't like him. So I think Frida McFadden is most known for, I think it's The Maid, or The Housemaid. I think it's called The Housemaid. So I haven't read that book yet, but I still might. But yeah, I wasn't impressed. I didn't really vibe with The Tenant. Then I did actually end up finishing the first Sadki book, which I do own. It's in a bind up of the first 3 books in one. It's like an omnibus, but I did finish the first book, so I am counting all of my omnibus books as separate books, even though they are in bind ups. So it may look like I own less books because I own like 5 of the Sadki books, but they're all 3 in one, so they all add up to 15, and so do the Trompi. And then I have Del Toro Quest, which is like 5 books in one book. So yeah, if I can knock some of those books off my TBR because they're quite small because they're in other books, I think that would be the way to go. But if you don't know, Sadki was a very popular book series. It's Afrikaans, probably around the time my parents were growing up as well, and this Sadki and Trompi, they were written by the same author. He just wrote under a pseudonym to write the Sadki books. So Sadki, she's a little girl who gets up to a lot of mischief with her friends, and like just lots of chaos and mayhem, and actually a lot of boyish things, which kind of makes sense thinking that it is written by a male author who wrote like the books for the boys, and the boys also do lots of silly things and could get into trouble and stuff like that. Reading it as an adult has been interesting, and having that knowledge now that it wasn't written by a woman is an interesting experience, but I am having fun practicing my Afrikaans a bit more. Next up, I reread Aragon. So I do own a copy of that, but my copy isn't in this country, and I don't know if I will get my copy again at this stage, but I had a lot of fun with my reread. My partner and I are reading them together, and I'm currently on book 2, and he's sped way ahead and he finished all of them already, so I have to catch up. But Aragon is about a boy who finds a dragon egg. It's a fantasy young adult series. It was very popular in the 2000s, maybe 2010s. That's when I read them, at least, and I do think that Christopher Paolini has recently been writing some more books in that universe, so that's partly why I picked them up again, so that I could read the original series and then read some of the newer books that he's released, but also just for the nostalgia. Lots of dragon books have been releasing recently, so yeah, it's been fun. My car is even named after Saphira. That's how much I loved Saphira. Okay. Oh, I also have heard people saying that like Aragon is like a Lord of the Rings fanfic, because Aragon and Aragorn are very similar names, like they sound similar, but I personally always thought that Aragon was just the word dragon, except he changed the D to an E and it became Aragon. Dragon? That's where I thought the name come from. I didn't really link it to Aragorn at all, because they're totally different characters. Like, they're both humans. There's nothing to do with dragons with Aragorn's story. Yes, they both do like an elf, but it's totally different stories, so I don't know why people say that personally. So yeah, I thought the name came from dragon. Anyway, next I read Cinder. which I don't own currently, but I might in future purchase the Lunar Chronicles if I do like the other books in this series, and I am quite enjoying it. So this is a Cinderella retelling, but it is sci-fi, young adult, set in space. And I did try to read this also in I think 2020, again around the pandemic, but this book also features an illness, so I think I found it a little bit upsetting at the time, so I didn't actually finish that book. So actually finished it this time around and I quite enjoyed it. I think I gave it 4 stars. I think it's really fun, and I wish I had found the books when I was a teenager, because I love fairy tales, I love fairy tale retellings. So yeah, I really wish I found it when I was a teen, because teenage me probably would have been obsessed with it. And I was also a bit in denial about me enjoying sci-fi, but I actually do really love sci-fi. So this is a sci-fi fairy tale retelling, and I had so much fun with it. I also read The Little Android, which is a short story in the Lunar Chronicles world. So I read that one a lot, and then also The Queen's Army. So both little short stories in this world. And next I do need to read the second book, and I'll also consider maybe getting a box set of these, because I do really like this and I wouldn't mind owning them and adding it to my collection. So that's on my wish list for now, but I think I'll probably wait until I've read at least the 3rd book before I do buy it, just in case I end up hating it by then. Okay, and then the last 2 books are they're unhauls right now. Okay, so I tried reading Miss Austen. I wasn't enjoying it. So for now, I'm unhauling it. I might see how I feel again, at the end of the month. I want to love it. I really want to enjoy it, but I don't think I was in the headspace for it. And then similarly, Godmersham Park is by the same author. So I'm thinking I might hold on to both of them for a little while, and if I'm not in the mood to pick them up again, I'll probably just donate them, because there's no point in me keeping them if I'm never going to read them. And I was a lot more interested in Jane in Love and some of the other books about Jane Austen that I do own that I've read. So I might end up doing that. Okay. So it does seem like I made progress. However, I bought some books in July. So I should probably go get them so I can show you guys and try to explain myself to you, because I have to hold myself accountable. Okay, I'll get them. Okay, here they are. So I went into Demix to purchase Time of Your Life and Bare Bones in the Midnight Soil. So this was why I went into the shop. Okay, and then at the time they were having a deal for buy 2 get 1 free. So I thought I could get a book for free with this. So I picked up The Night and the Moth, because everyone said I would love this book, and it's beautiful. Look at it. And then it turns out that this book wasn't included in that deal thing. So I was like, okay, I really still want this one, and I do want both of these, but then I can get a book for free. So I had to pick up Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry, because I am collecting all of her books, because I enjoy all of her books. So that's how I intended to buy 2 books, and I walked out with 4, which is how I noticed that I was getting back into unhealthy habits with my book buying. So after that, I put myself on a book buying ban, and I'm not allowed to go into the shops again until Christmas time. So that's all. That's what happened. So yeah, I'm gonna add them to the list. and it's just pretty much like I've made no progress this month as a result. So Time of Your Life is the newest Jessa Hastings book, which was unexpected, but it looks really good. I love all of her books so much. I think she's a fantastic author. Barrier Burns in the Midnight Soil, V.E. Schwab. I think V.E. Schwab is absolutely epic, fantastic author. I really loved The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and I've read a few of her other books as well. I still need to read A Darker Shade of Magic, which I own the trilogy, so I'm thinking of maybe having just like a whole video where I read that trilogy, but I just couldn't resist this one. It just looked fantastic, beautiful. I don't know what to say, guys. The FOMO got to me. The Night and the Moth. I really want to read Two Twisted Crowns and One Dark Window, that duology. And honestly, I do have buyer's remorse over this one. I do, because I don't know whether I'm going to like it. So I'm thinking of sometime soon probably doing a video where I read all of the books I bought this year so that I can ensure that I like them and that they don't actually go into next year not being read. So please hold me accountable. If you don't see me reading some of these books soon, like, just start yelling at me in the comments to do that, okay? Because I have to. I broke the ban and now I need to face the consequences of my actions. Okay, I started with good intentions a few months ago, wanting to support independent bookshops, and that just meant I allowed myself to buy books, and then I bought books that weren't on the list, which is not good. Okay. Then Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I have loved all of the Emily Henry books that I've read so far. Having said that, I've only read 2 of her books, but I do own a lot of them. So yeah, this is again another one where I'm kind of just going along with the hype of everybody else, but I think I just need to sit down and just read all of her books that I own so that I can do one of those fun videos where I rank them and see how much I actually like all of them. So I'll see. I am going on holiday soonish, so I'll probably take a few books with me, and romance books are quite easy to get through, so I'll see which ones I want to take along. I still haven't read Book Lovers yet, so I might take that one. And then there are a few Ali Hazelwoods that I haven't read yet that I own that I might take with me. But as you guys can see by my monthly progress here, I started with 284 and I'm back to 284. So I've made no progress thanks to buying books. If I didn't buy books, I would have been at 280 by now. Okay, so please vote down below which of these books you want me to read first, okay, so that I can be held accountable. So maybe take an emoji, the emoji, like, based on the book that you want me to read. So, okay, this one, sunset, so sun, sunset, beach emoji, okay. This one, sword, butterfly. I don't think there's a moth emoji, wish there was. Okay, but butterfly or sword emoji. Rose, it says roses on the cover, so a rose emoji or like a skull or something. I don't know what to do for this one. Maybe like the Union Jack, like the flag for the UK, because it's got some flags on the back there, if you can see, and then like the art is just spectacular. Or maybe some clouds. It's got clouds too. So clouds and the Union Jack. Okay. So vote down below which book you think I should read first out of this pile. If you think I should read them all in one video, just have an emoji for every single one. But yeah, I need you guys to help me stay accountable to read the books that I buy. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this video. Keep reading, Inklings. I'll see you next time. Bye!